Okay, right, we are going to get back on with the butchery of this Keeway. Now, you will remember the last video I made, we'd welded on that hoop. I have put a little bit of filler on just to tidy it up a little bit, but I do have a bit of an issue with it, which I'll try and show you. If I put the straight edge on there, you will see that's more or less bang on. If I do the same thing this side, you will see there's a bit of a gap. So basically it's kicked over slightly that way. Now, you hardly notice it, I doubt anybody would notice it, but I am going to attempt to kick that back over in the correct direction. So I'm not quite sure. Really, I need heat. I haven't got heat. It's one thing I am lacking in my little shed full of goodies. But let's see what we can do. Maybe a jack or a clamp or something. Let's see what I can do to try and kick that over. One sec, just get you set up. Right, I've got a spare old bit of steel here. So I don't quite know. Well, there really isn't much there, I'll be honest. Let me grab a scissor jack. Quite pedantic, but you know, if it wants straightening out, now is really the time to do it. Not quite sure how that's going to change anything. It just wants kicking over the slightest amount that way. I could belt it with a big fuck off hammer, couldn't I? But don't want to. That hoop isn't the strongest of metals, I'll be honest. Let's see if we can clamp that there. I've only got a couple of clamps. I did have more, but I keep breaking them. Okay. So if I had heat while it's under pressure there, I could put some heat on it. And then hopefully that would pull it over. I'm not going to be too anal about it. If I can get it over, I will, but you know, it is what it is, really. And that's pulled it into line, but I suspect as soon as I take the clamps off, that'll spring straight back. That's my straight edge. Okay, right guys, I'm going to keep working on that, see if I can pull that into line, and then we'll come back and see how it looks. Do you know what guys, I've not been able to straighten that up. That's a bit of a mock-up of what it looks like. do you know what, I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with that at all. I reckon that seat's still got to go down lower. The tank's probably got to go a little bit lower. Do you know what? I'm going to cut that off again. I've not made a good enough job of it. And what I think I will do, while I've got the grinder out, is I think I'll cut that off. Maybe I have to get the tank to sit down a little bit lower as well, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe if I cut the hoop off and slice that one across there, you actually see what I did there. Probably not. Yeah. Where's my spirit level? So if I cut that off at an angle there, I could probably get it lower. Yeah, not happy. Not happy with that at all. I'm going to cut that back off. Angle grinder time. Right, need to change the disc. Oh, and by the way, yeah, wearing goggles this time. Yeah, anyway, change the disc and we'll get that finished off. Right, there we go, we're back to square one. So we've got the loop, or the hoop. I need to get that sort of way down here if I can. Given the angle of the frame, I'm never ever going to get it perfectly flat, but I wasn't happy with it the way it was, so we'll start again. That bracket there that held the tank on, as you can see, I've cut that off and I've cleaned that up as well. Where have I got it? There it is. So yeah, that was on there, something like that. So we'll just see where the tank's going to sit, and then we'll position that as required. I'll move that if I have to, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, got that work. Yeah, I suppose I could go that way. I could still weld it. Anyway, look, that's for another day or what have you. Because a friend of mine has just phoned, and we have an important engagement down the pub. So that's why, do you know what, I've just noticed something. I've been grinding and cutting and what have you, and that bloody carb looked wide open. That's not good. Anyway, I don't care at the minute. I'm going down the pub. Catch you guys another day. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Right, here we go again. It's the next day. It's very early actually, 7 o'clock. So let me bring you up to speed with what I've done so far. As you know, I recut the back end off because I wasn't happy with it. What else? I cut off that bracket there, which, I mean, that's just sitting there at the minute. So I've got this rubber bung on the end of the tank there, because I'm just figuring out ways of mounting the tank now. That's going to be my next job. Now that bracket there, which was on there, and I cut it off, I've further cut a piece off that bracket which was on there, simply because I want to move it forward and it's hitting the CDI, which is mounted under the tank. So here's me thinking, and I'm trying to do this with one hand, so that will go on there. Let me just set that under, and my plan at the moment, and it's very fluid so it might change, is to build a bracket over the top of that. Then the tank is rubber mounted front and back, which you are supposed to do, you can't just bolt them straight down. And then the seat mounts by bolting at the back, which I'm yet to figure out, but this bracket here, which bolts on the front of the seat, needs to slip under there. So I'll just balance you between my legs. So when I build this bracket on the front, it's got to hold that rubber piece up a little for this seat part to be able to slip underneath it, and then that's what locks the front of the seat in. So yeah, it's all very fluid at the minute. I'm just trying out different things just to see what's going to work. I'm not going to film that. I'll just bring you in and out as and when, and even if I progress through. So yeah, we'll play around with that and then see where we go from there. Cheers. Right then guys, after piss-arting about with various solutions, I think I've come up with a way of mounting this tank which will also accept the seat, which was the point of not just bolting it on. I've put a little black grommet in the end of the tank there because I want to try and get them mounted on rubber as much as I can. This is the bracket that I cut off the frame because it was in the wrong place for me. What you'll see I've done there is welded in a coach bolt with the thread sticking up. So I then have a little top hat rubber. These are the original tank mounting for the blue not Zontes, Keeway. I'm losing the plot here. So what I've done is I've put a little metal spacer on the end of that. And it's a tight fit, but that goes down on that thread. Just give us a second while I wind that on. It's not threaded at all, it's just tight in the rubber, so it's easier to screw it on than try and push it down, I think, yeah. So I'll screw that right to the bottom. Now that gives us, as you can see, a gap, which is where the seat's going to mount. So if I now, that way, pop that in through there, washer on top, screw it down. Now obviously that needs welding back onto there, and then if I grab the seat, now I've reinstalled that hook back on the seat there, that mounting hook, which goes in that gap that I've left. So that hook's in there, hooks in quite nicely, and then we have the seat and tank mounted. What I've got to do now obviously is work on getting that hoop back on the back properly. If I can do that, I can fully weld everything up, and then seat and tank's mounted, we can start dealing with other things like headlight, exhaust, etc, etc. Be aware guys, this is me playing around, experimenting, just seeing what I can do with a bike that I don't really care for. So it might turn into something. I might just trash the bike, I don't know. But yeah, this is not me. This isn't a guy who knows how to do brats and bobbers and shit like that and he's showing you guys how to do it. I don't. I've never done one. It'll probably be a complete disaster. Like I say, me playing, don't take this as instructions on how to do your bike. Anyway, I'm going to have a nice cup of tea, and then I'm going to see about getting that hoop back on. Might cut some more metal off, get that seat a little bit lower if I can. But yeah, I'm quite enjoying this one. Right, back soon guys, cheers. Okay, progress update. Now I've got that hoop loose fitted back on there. There's no welding on that whatsoever, and it's very firm, and the reason is this time I took my own advice and I put plugs in. So there's a thinner piece of tube holding that that loop in, and funnily enough, I don't throw nothing away. My daughter had an old twin buggy. There it is. And when she was going to throw that away, I said, no. It was about 18 months ago. Now there's some useful steel on there, and I've never used it until just now. It was the perfect size to make them plugs. So, I still haven't welded up the tank bracket yet. But, get that on. Sorry guys, need two hands. Shit camera work. Yeah. So it's still, I'm still not entirely happy with it, because I want that seat to sit flat down on that loop, and it's not. I wonder if that'll bend. You bastard. Like that. That did bend. It's bent on the plugs, which is not a bad thing. Let's see how that looks. Oh yes. Now that is what I was looking for. See the loop, there's no gap there now. The loop is, let's just tap that in a bit because it's now sticking down. I think I'm going to get too more fussy with it, to be honest with you. I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. Now there's still that gap between the frame and the front of the seat, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about that. But we'll see if we can lose that via the side panels, if I put any in, or I don't know, one step at a time. But the main thing is I've got the seat hoop better. It's straight on the sides as well. I took that where it was kicked over, I've took that out. You'll also see I've cut them down and bent them right out the way. Now I've used plugs, they're not really needed, but what I shall probably do is just tap them back up and just weld them in just for some extra strength. But overall I'm quite happy with that, and I think I'm going to roll the dice, I think, and start welding up. Yeah, okay, great stuff. I'm going to leave it there. Right, I don't know if I'll bring you back later, guys. We'll see how we get on. Cheers. Right, that's fully welded up. That ain't going anywhere. Whilst I'm not going to be winning any awards for my welding skills, at the same time that ain't going to be falling off anytime soon. Now what I need to do next, because we ain't quite finished, I need some extra support under the seat, because it's only it's only supported at the back, and I've got to drill some holes and put some brackets on for the back. There's nothing in the middle, so I've probably got to try and put something over here, maybe. John Trey suggested maybe I could, yeah, I think that's too heavy. He suggested flipping that over and cutting the shite off it and using that for a seat support, but I think it's cheers for the suggestion, John, but I think it's too I think that's too heavy, mate. I'll come up with something. Don't know what, but I'll come up with something. Okay, right. Well, that seat and tank ain't going to be fitting anymore. So, yeah. It's coming along quite nicely. I'm much happier with that hoop. That is nice and straight and strong now. That was the right call to cut that off and start again. It really was. Right. I think it's cup of tea time again. Don't know if I can be asked to do any more today, but let's go and have a cup of tea and see how it goes. Thanks everyone, cheers. Okay, right, next couple of jobs I need to do on this is one, I need to offer some support under there. I don't know if I just sit on that now, that seat will bend in the middle, so I need to put some blocks or something under there to take the weight of my big fat ass, or anybody else's big fat ass that happens to buy it. What I might do, if it's the right side, I've got some box section here, so I may put some, I'll take the seat off and show you in a minute, put some box under there. The other thing I've got to do, whether you can see under here or not, probably not well, but the brackets on the seat there, I need to put something on to bolt the back of the seat to the frame. So if I take the seat off, I'll show you what I mean. So there's the brackets. Got to bolt something on, or organise something to get those to bolt on. Actually, have the old seats here. No, they're moulded in. I can't use that. Right. Okay. So that's the next two little jobs, and if I can knock those two out, then the seat will be, and the tank will be permanently bolted, and we can start doing some of the other pretty stuff, if you like. Now, if I put that box section, I think that's got to come off. We'll have to cut that bracket off. That held the starter, so we'll have to cut that off and put that somewhere else. If I cut a small section of that box there and then turn it so it's upright and weld it in position, that may just be the right height. So again, I'm going to disappear off camera, try some different things that may or may not work, and we'll bring you back for a look. Cheers. Right then, here's my master plan for securing the seat. That support there, it's only tacked on, but that's in the right place, so that supports the middle of the seat perfectly. You will note that I've drilled a hole there, on this side as well. What my intention is, I've got a nut on the end of a bolt there, so I'm going to shove that in there, and then I'm going to weld that nut onto the frame, and then we should be able to bolt the seat through that nut, in theory. So let me crack on and get that done. We'll see how that looks. Cheers. And there we are, 2 bolts welded in. Now I've not tried it yet. In fact, we'll bolt the whole lot. We'll bolt the tank on. We'll bolt the seat on as well. See how she looks. That's actually been a whole afternoon's work, believe it or not. Don't look like I've achieved much, but trust me, I have. feels like it anyway. Okay, that's the tank securely bolted. That should still slip under there. Oh, it's tight. Back that off a little bit. There's a lot of compression on the rubber mounts I've put on, so you're never ever going to get it fully tight. Oh, have I fucked up here? I'll put a nylock on that actually. Yeah, there we go, no problem. Panic over. No, I've got it. To the side. Come on, start, you bastard. Probably got a little bit of mixed spatter in there actually. Probably need to run the tap through, clean them up a bit. There we go. Now she's started, panic over. That is cool. Like it a lot. Oh dear. So let's have a quick look. Still got that gap to deal with, obviously. In fact, that could go further forward. I'll have a look at that in a minute because there's some adjustment on the back. So try it out for size. Oh yes. Yeah, that's going to work. A little bit of fine fettling, but yeah, I think that'll be fine. Good. Right, I've had enough today. I'm knackered. I'm going to call it a day. We've got the main bits done there. We can start seeing what we're going to do with the rest of it. Exhaust wise, I do have another exhaust. It come with this bike. Is that it? It looks scruffy. It looks very scruffy in actual fact. But it only wants tidying up and re-wrapping, cleaning up. I think we'll think we can make that work. But yeah, that's a job for another day. I could buy a cheap little stubby for it, I suppose. They're not dear, are they? We'll see. We'll see. I don't plan on doing a big budget build here. This is just a shit old Chinese bike that I decided to have a bit of fun with. So that's the result so far. Good. Right, we'll call it there, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And we'll catch you all another day. Bertie Bodgett signing off.